Hello and good afternoon. I'm your host, Damon Mitchell, and welcome to the nation's great station. I'm joined by Ty Richardson and Sarah Grimes. We'll be talking to you guys about a few topics today. First being the desirability of college football coaches after the 2015 season had came to an end. Ty, what are your thoughts on programs needing coaches after the season?
Well, a couple of the good programs have already been chosen. USC has decided to stick with offensive coordinator Clay Helton. Georgia's looking like they're leaning towards Kirby Smart and looking like he's going to sign on Sunday. VTech ended up picking up Justin Fuente from Memphis, and that leaves a couple of desirable programs. Personally, I think Missouri's a firestorm right now. That's not desirable for me. You have programs like Virginia, Rutgers, Memphis. They're good jobs, but they're not great. But for me, it's Miami. The U, make it the U Part 3. Al Golden could have gotten done. Randy Shannon couldn't done. But there is so much talent in that area. If you look at all the talent that's come through the University of Miami, that has to be, for me, the opportunity to return this team to the promised land is just waiting.
I agree with you. I think Mizzou has too much going on right now for anybody to really want to get in there to fix things. I think it's needed, but I don't think people really want to do that. Although it's troublesome there, I don't think it's a lost cause. But I do want to touch on Miami. They have a pretty good record of winnings. And Jimmy Johnson, the old Miami coach, said that it's the best recruiting area in America. So I don't know why you wouldn't want to go there. You have great recruits. It's like a pool of great, awesome football players that you can have on your team in state.
Not only about recruits and, I think it's about where you're located too. I would like to coach in, Miami or somewhere where it's hot, so the weather would definitely fluctuate the decision. Moving on from coaches and talking about, players, what are your thoughts on college athletes and should they be paid?
I do not think they should be paid. They're, first of all, a student and then an athlete. So I think that you also get mixed up into, if you pay football players, will you pay them more than the other smaller sports like golf or tennis? And also it's unfair for the kids who excel in academics. They don't get paid for mathletes or anything that they do. So why should athletes be put up on a pedestal and be paid? I just think it's too much to think about.
I can understand that thought, but here's the thing. I could sign my autograph right now and sell it to someone. It's not like anyone would buy it, but I could sell it to someone for $50. He legally, by the NCAA, cannot sign his autograph and sell it to someone for $50. He can't do the job. Johnny Manziel was suspended for selling autographs in the first game of 2 years ago during his season. Leonard Fournette was almost not allowed to donate his jersey for the South Carolina relief after the hurricane. I mean, are you kidding me, NCAA? That is absolutely pathetic. College football athletes and much other D1 athletes work about 43 hours a week. That's 3 more hours than most Americans that work just normal everyday jobs. According to Forbes, the NCAA makes about $11 billion a year. $11 billion. But the players don't receive any of that. Not a drop. That's pathetic, and it needs to stop. And I'm not saying you have to pay the athletes, but allow them to get jobs, allow them to market themselves, allow them to sell jerseys. The colleges and the NCAA need to stop taking the money what the players have earned for this long. It's pathetic.
Ty, I kind of agree with you. I watched a documentary on Netflix just about a month ago, and it was on this topic. Athletes and what they're being paid as opposed to what they bring to a university pay-wise is just ridiculous. They use an analogy such as every athlete, who eats one meal pretty much works, for the entire day just for the one meal that they ate, and that's exactly what the NCAA uses these athletes for. So I don't know about the mathletes and what they do, but as far as where the income is regulated, I think the athletes should be paid for the time that they put in throughout the week and day to day. This actually takes me to the last topic that we're going to talk about today. Based off of the passion, the desire you have from football or any sport that you are in from high school, because everybody has a common goal of making it to the next level, do you feel like the amount of time being around the sport or coaches and school in general takes away a little bit of the passion to want to make it and continue to make this your passion throughout your career in college?
I think it absolutely does. I mean, I just said Forbes estimated about college athletes spend about 43 hours a week working on their prospective sport. I had friends last year that played soccer their freshman year in college and then just decided to come here because there was just too much that they had to do. That's their prerogative. But with that, it's demanding film sessions, workouts, public appearances, one-on-ones. You have to do so much during the week. But there's a lot of benefits you get as an athlete at the D1 level, in D2, D3. There's specialty dining halls, there's tutors, there's special study areas, there's very expensive per diems that you get, lots of clothes. And honestly, a lot of times, when it comes down to it, there's less punishments that you get as an athlete when you get into trouble. So I think, coupled with that, there is a lot. The U.S. Treasury Office estimates that you spend about $36,000 a year out of state when you just pay for cost of attendance. That's a lot of money. If you worked an $8 an hour job for 4,000 hours just in the year, that would pay for $36,000. I mean, that's a lot of money. So I know it's asking a lot of these college students, but there's pros and cons in playing sport, and you just have to decide if it's worth it.
I agree with you. I think that going at any athlete, going to the next level in college is a lot different. You have a lot of different things to put into perspective, but I think it comes down to who the coaches are. I think that makes a big deal of your time as an athlete at a university. I think that they can make or break a time. But I do think that it's hard being an athlete, but you do have to outweigh, are you passionate enough to keep doing this? Is it something that you really, really want? I would suggest if you're questioning to be an athlete in college, I always say go for it, try it out, and see what you like. What's the worst that's going to happen? You tried it out and you decided that it wasn't for you. So I always say go for something instead of questioning the what if. But I definitely think that it's something that's hard, but it may be worth it concerning how passionate you are about the sport and if it's going to help better you to become the best you can be.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Well, I'm Damon Mitchell. This is Sarah Grimes, Ty Richardson, and welcome to the nation's great station. Thank you.